The laboratory of the solitary scientist was shrouded in darkness. The only source of light emanated from the time machine, which glowed with an ominous tone amidst the gloom. The scientist, Dr. Jonathan Rivers, had spent years developing this incredible invention. However, his ambition to defy the barriers of time and space was finally turning against him. With nervousness, Dr. Rivers stepped into the time machine's cabin. He meticulously adjusted the controls and prepared for the temporal leap. The room filled with an intense hum, and suddenly, everything vanished. When the scientist opened his eyes, he found himself in a strange and unfamiliar place. However, something was amiss. He recognized the surroundings, but he realized there were subtle differences in every detail. The chairs in the laboratory were slightly displaced, the books on the shelves had different titles, and the clock on the wall ticked erratically. Thinking he had failed in his attempt, Dr. Rivers tried to return to the time machine to rectify the issue. However, once again, the hum echoed in the room, and he found himself back at the same point, trapped in a distressing time loop. As the scientist faced this recurring nightmare, he began to unravel the truth behind his predicament. During his work on the time machine, a shadowy government had discovered his advancements and kidnapped him from another timeline, forcing him to work for them. They had created this time loop as a trap to keep him under their control and hide the dark secrets that the time machine could reveal. Dr. Rivers decided he had to confront these dark forces if he ever wanted to break free from the time loop. During each repetition of the cycle, he started gathering information and clues about the government's shadowy plans. He discovered that his experiments with the time machine could unveil the existence of historical manipulations and sinister secrets. But the dark forces didn't remain idle as the scientist uncovered the truth. In each loop, his pursuers became more aggressive and violent, attempting to prevent Dr. Rivers from escaping their grasp. Terrifying shadows materialized in the corners of the laboratory, sinister whispers filled the air, and strange creatures lurked in the darkness. Armed with courage and determination, the scientist utilized his knowledge and skills to confront the dark forces. He discovered ways to weaken their influence over the time loop and began constructing a strategy to escape. Gradually, Dr. Rivers unraveled the mysteries behind his confinement and exposed the hidden schemes of the government and the shadows. Defying all obstacles and dangers he encountered in each loop, he managed to accumulate enough knowledge and resources to fight against his captors. Finally, in the last loop, Dr. Rivers executed his plan with precision. He used the time machine not only to escape the time loop, but also to travel back in time and confront the leaders of the shadow government directly. With bravery and determination, the scientist confronted the dark forces, revealing their malicious intentions to the world. Though the cost was high and the danger extreme, Dr. Rivers triumphed over the oppressors and freed not only himself, but also humanity from the threat of their control and manipulation. From that day forward, Dr. Rivers became a symbol of resistance and struggle against corrupt power. His invention, the time machine, became a beacon of hope and scientific advancement, used to explore the past and rectify present injustices. However, despite his victory, the solitary scientist never forgot the terrible experiences he endured in the time loop. Shadows lurked in his dreams, constantly reminding him of the darkness he had once faced. Nevertheless, Dr. Rivers persevered, dedicating himself to protecting the power of the time machine and ensuring it would never fall into the wrong hands. And so, the story of the solitary scientist and his tragic encounter with a terrifying time loop was etched into the annals of time, reminding us of the importance of confronting our darkest fears and fighting for freedom and truth, even when we seem trapped in an endless cycle of horror.